In this video, we're going to cover multiplying and dividing surds. So as you can see there, if you have root x times root y, essentially you're timesing the x and the y together to get a combined surd. Alright, so you'd get root xy. So we'll look at some examples here. The first one, you have root 4 times root 3. So this becomes 4 times 3 in the root sign, which simplifies to root 12. If we look at the next one, we have root 6 times root 7. Root 6 times 3, not 7. And then 6 times 3 is 18. Can we simplify that surd down first? We can, because it'll break up into root 9, root 2, which turns into 3 root 2. So remember, you have your square numbers, which is 1, 4, 9, 16, and they keep going because this is 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and that's how you simplify it down. You find the biggest square number that goes into your surd. In our case, it was 9. So 18 divided by 9 gets me 2. So our root 18 breaks up into root 9, root 2, and then we can turn the root 9 into 3. So here we have another multiplication of surds. This time we have two coefficients out the front, a and b, as you can see here. So essentially you times your coefficients and then you times your surds. So as you can see, you get a times b here, and then you get x times y inside the surd. So again, we'll do the same thing. We've got 2 times 4 here, and we've got 3 times 2. So 2 times 4 gets me 8, and then we have 3 times 2 for our surd component, which is 6. We do the same thing for the next one. We've got 4 times 5, and we've got 2 times 7. You don't need to draw the arrows. I just think it's a good tool to show that we're making sure we're multiplying the correct things by each other. So 4 times 5 is 20, and then 2 times 7 is 14. Here we have dividing surds. We have root 6 over root 3. And if you look up the top, if we have root x over root y, we can combine the x and the y into its own fraction in a single root sign, a single surd. So this turns into 6 over 3. And if you simplify 6 over 3 down, we get root 2. Alright, so 6 divided by 3 is 2, and we just chuck it in the root sign because it was surds. Same thing here. Combine them, you get 10 over 5. 10 divided by 5 is also 2, so root 2. Next, we have the same thing, but with coefficients out the front again. So again, like when we multiplied, the coefficients will be dividing by each other, and the surds will be dividing by each other. I like to break it up into parts. So we have our 4 and our 2 here, and then we have our root 12 and our root 2 here. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, because we focused on the red box first. Now we focus on our surds. Root 12 divided by root 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6, so root 6. You go to the next one, do the same thing. Again, you don't need to do the boxes. I just think it's a good idea to really show what you're doing and making sure you're not going to make a simple mistake. So 6 divided by 2, we get 3. And then we have 2 divided by 6. So we can't do that. We can simplify it down though. And we get how many root 2's going to root 6? 3. And we get root 3 on the bottom, like that. To end the video, we'll do a quick recap. And on your screen, you can see each of the formula we used. It might be a good idea to write these down if you feel like you're going to forget. But remember, you can always revisit the video and have a look at the examples that I did for each formula.